Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. Let's dive into what's stirring up the NFC East, and more importantly, what could be a game changer for the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing with whispers of a potential blockbuster trade involving Jermaine Johnson, the Jets' promising edge rusher, and the Cowboys. It's the kind of move that could redefine the Cowboys' defense going forward and really boost their chances to make a deep playoff run this season. But let's unpack all the details, because this isn't just a rumor. There's some real substance behind it, and it's worth your attention. First, the background. The Jets, currently sitting at a disappointing 2-6, are in full rebuild mode after the injury to Aaron Rodgers and the subsequent rumors about his retirement. Just recently, Rodgers suffered a torn Achilles in Week 5, and as you can imagine, that has sent shockwaves through New York. The team's defense has struggled to generate pressure, ranking 26th in sacks with just 6 as a team. Their pass rush, which was supposed to be a strength, has been pedestrian at best. Now, with the Jets sitting at plus 900 odds to make the playoffs and a bleak outlook for their postseason hopes, it's clear they're looking to shake things up. Internal sources and respected insiders like Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini have been dropping hints that the Jets might pivot before the trade deadline on November 4th, especially to free up cap space and acquire draft capital. The name that's circulating is Jermaine Johnson. The Jets' young, athletic pass rusher has been showing flashes of brilliance this season, especially when healthy. Johnson, often called an athletic freak, has been making a name for himself with his explosiveness and versatility. Through the first part of 2025, he's accumulated 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and has earned a solid 88.6 grade from PFF. He's also been generating pressure at a high rate, with 22 sacks in his career so far, along with 140 pressures and a win rate of 20%. His get-off is quick, just 1/8 seconds, and he's really good at getting into the backfield with a hurry rate of nearly 16% and a positive EPA per snap of -0.28, indicating he's impactful when on the field. Despite his impressive stats, Johnson has faced some injury setbacks in 2025. He tweaked his ankle in Week 3 and then battled a back injury in Week 4, which limited his production temporarily. Still, when healthy, he's an absolute game changer. His versatility is another big plus. He's played around 60% of his snaps at defensive end and 40% as an outside linebacker, which makes him a flexible piece for any defense. His yards after contact allowed are just 3-4 yards, and he's a strong run defender too, which adds to his value. Comparing him to some of the league's top edge rushers, Johnson's athletic profile is elite, an 88.6 grade versus Osa Odighizu's 84, and his sack rate is significantly higher than many of his peers. Now, why are the Jets willing to part ways? Well, it's about cap management and draft capital. They're sitting on roughly $8 million in cap space and need to prioritize protecting their quarterback, especially with Zach Wilson under center. Their run defense has been leaky, allowing an average of 4-5 yards per carry, and their overall outlook for the season is bleak, with projections putting them at around 5-12 and odds of winning the Super Bowl at plus 15-0. They're not only looking to rebuild, but also to acquire picks that could help them rebuild their roster around younger talent. Trading Johnson for a second-round pick in 2026 makes sense. They get cap relief, draft capital, and a chance to focus on their long-term rebuild. But that's where it gets interesting for the Cowboys. Dallas, sitting at 3-5-1, is desperately hunting for more edge rush depth after the trade for Logan Wilson. They see Johnson as a perfect fit, an explosive athlete who can add a new dimension to their pass rush and elevate their defense to elite levels. Johnson's athleticism and explosiveness could be exactly what the Cowboys need to push them into playoff contention, especially in the NFC East, which remains highly competitive despite the Cowboys' inconsistent start. His stats are eye-popping when you compare him to their current edge rushers. For example, Johnson is averaging 1.7 pressures per game, and his ability to win double teams at around 65% makes him a nightmare for offensive linemen. His bend rating is an impressive 8. 8 out of 10, meaning he's really good at bending the edge and getting around blockers, which is crucial in today's NFL. Adding Johnson to the Cowboys, front seven would immediately give them a boost, projected to generate at least 9 sacks for the rest of the season and force more turnovers. They've already been active in the defensive front, but Johnson's athletic profile and production could push their overall team impact into the top 10 in pass defense, allowing just around 20 points per game. His presence would also help alleviate some of the pressure on secondary players, who have been ranked 18th in EPA pass, giving them more opportunities to create turnovers and make game-changing plays. With Parsons leading the charge, Johnson would be another dynamic piece that makes Dallas's defense even more unpredictable and dangerous. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a catalyst for Dallas's playoff push. The odds of winning the Super Bowl, currently around +3,500, could see a significant jump if this trade happens. Johnson's emergence as a postseason X-factor, especially after projecting to add around 8 sacks in the remaining games, could turn the Cowboys into serious contenders. Comparing him historically, his athletic profile and production remind us of some of the best pass rushers of the past, like Cowboys legends during the Ware era in the 2000s. The potential for Dallas to upset the NFC East and make a deep playoff run hinges on bolstering their pass rush, and Johnson could be the missing piece. Of course, the Jets are desperate to make moves, but they're also cautious about giving away a young, promising player like Johnson without getting enough in return. Their cap situation and draft needs make this a tricky puzzle, but the upside for Dallas is enormous. If they can swing this deal, it would be a clear signal that they're committed to competing at the highest level and not settling for mediocrity. This trade could redefine the Cowboys' dynasty aspirations and set them up for sustained success in the coming years. The division rivalry with the Eagles and Commanders would intensify, with Dallas gaining a real edge in the pass rush department, which has often been a question mark this season. Now, let's talk about the larger implications. The NFC East is already one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Eagles leading the pack, but Dallas is right there, waiting for their chance to leapfrog. Adding a player like Johnson would not only improve their immediate chances, but also send a message across the league that the Cowboys are serious about winning now. The odds of them making a deep run in the playoffs and even challenging for the Super Bowl would significantly improve, especially if Johnson continues to develop and stay healthy. His ability to generate pressure and disrupt offenses could change games in ways we haven't seen this season from Dallas. And speaking of the playoffs, the Super Bowl odds are shifting quickly. From +8,000 earlier in the season, they've moved to +3,500, and with Johnson potentially joining the fold, this could go even lower. His projected impact, adding around 8 sacks in the postseason, could be the difference between a good team and a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The Cowboys have the talent, especially on offense with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard, but their defense needs that extra spark. Johnson could be that spark, the difference maker who elevates this team into the elite tier. So fans, what do you think? Is this trade the move Dallas needs to finally get over the hump and chase that elusive Super Bowl? Will Jermaine Johnson be the piece that transforms their defense and gives them that extra edge against the league's top offenses? It's an exciting time to be a Cowboys supporter, and if this move happens, it could be a defining moment for the franchise. Keep your eyes peeled because the trade deadline is just around the corner, and this could be the move that changes everything. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if Dallas manages to secure Johnson, the playoff landscape in the NFC gets even more interesting. The Cowboys could see their Super Bowl odds improve dramatically, and their defense would become a nightmare for offenses trying to pick them apart. The NFC East rivalry would heat up even further. Imagine Johnson rushing the passer against the Eagles' top-tier offensive line, creating chaos and forcing turnovers. That's the kind of impact that could define a season. And of course, the fans love a good story, and this trade would be one of the biggest of the season. The Cowboys have been looking for that spark on defense, a young, explosive edge rusher to complement Micah Parsons, and Johnson could be the perfect fit. His athleticism, combined with his ability to win in multiple ways, makes him a perfect fit for Dallas's aggressive style. If the Cowboys can pull this off, it's not just a move for now. It's a statement that they're building something special, something that could last for years. The NFL landscape is always changing, and with teams like the Eagles and 49ers showing dominance, Dallas needs to act fast. This trade could be that piece that puts them over the top. The possibility of Johnson playing alongside Parsons and helping to anchor a top 10 defense is tantalizing. It's the kind of move that could turn around a season and set up a playoff run that fans will remember for years. So stay tuned, Cowboys Nation. The next few days could be pivotal. Will they land Jermaine Johnson? The insiders believe it's a real possibility, and if they do, Dallas fans should get ready for a wild ride. This isn't just about one player. It's about transforming the identity of the defense, creating more chaos for offenses, and pushing the Cowboys towards their ultimate goal, another Super Bowl appearance. The NFC is wide open, and with the right moves, Dallas has a real shot to claim the throne once again. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Johnson is the missing piece? Are you excited about the potential of this trade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cowboys news. This is a season full of possibilities, and with the right moves, Dallas could be rewriting their story once again.